All right, good morning and welcome to this active flow and breathwork class. My name is Brian and I'm delighted to be here with you. It is Today's class is going to be for those of you that come to my Sunday class. You know that the last Sunday of the month we do the morning practice that I've been working on for this current month. So Sunday's class, we did that. This being Wednesday, we're actually going to correct or repeat that morning practice. So when I did the class Sunday, I left out a very important movement, and we want to include that in. So today's class is going to be an exploration of the May morning practice that I've been doing, the 30-day practice that I've been doing, 31 days in May. So it's a modified spinal series with a nice, sweet meditative practice. And in that meditative practice, we're going to experience mantra, the chanting of a mantra. Now, if you're not familiar with mantra and you're not familiar with chanting, then you can just sit quietly, hum along, just breathe, all is well. Remember, in all of this practice, the only requirement for you is to be present and to breathe. Everything over here is an invitation, a suggestion, an offering. So we'll be here about 45 minutes all told today. I will explain the mantra and the chanting when we get to that part of the practice. So we'll have a chance to settle into that and encourage you to experiment with it, play with it. It's a vibratory thing. So as we can find the vibe, we get the feeling of it. But anyway, it's meditation, and we're going to include that in our practice today. So let us start with our grounding, and then we'll raise some gratitude and we'll set our intention, and we'll move into our modified spinal series and move from there. So find yourself in a supported posture, whatever that means to you. Feel into whatever part of your body is in contact with something. Maybe your feet are flat on the floor underneath your knees, hip distance apart. Maybe you're seated cross-legged on a mat or a cushion or a bolster. Maybe you're in a chair. Maybe you're lying on your back. Whatever it is, wherever it is you are, whatever posture you're in, take a moment to feel into your supports. Find your supports by finding what part of your body is in contact with something. And then feel into that physical sensation of connection that occurs at those points of contact. And then bring your awareness to those points of contact and that physical sensation as support. What is it like to be supported in this moment? And then, having established our supports, let us root. Let us imagine that we could extend roots through those places of contact. And through rooting down, we can lengthen. Lengthen through the side body, lengthen through the spine, lengthen through the crown. Experiment with tucking the chin to free that little tension at the back of the neck so that the skull is sitting lightly just atop the spine. And feel the full length of the spine from the base to the crown. And then, keeping your spine elongated and aligned, turn your awareness to your breath. Find the inhalation as it appears underneath your nasal passages. Begin to breathe in and out through the nostrils. Following the inhalation all the way into your body, wherever it goes in your body without stress, strain, or exertion. And following the exhale all the way out, noticing what it's like to release completely, emptying fully. Let go of that last little bit of air at the bottom of the lungs. And then notice how the next inhale arrives just when it is needed. And follow that inhale in and that exhale out, and continuing to do that. Hold yourself in presence with awareness on the breath and feel into the possibility of stillness in this moment. And on your next inhale, I invite you to float your hands to your heart in a way that brings awareness to your heart space. Maybe your left hand over your heart, right hand over your left. Maybe your hands in prayer, thumb knuckles resting lightly on the breastbone. Pressing the palms to open the back, feeling the heart beneath the hands. Take a moment here to allow to arise in your heart space gratitude. Any one thing for which you are grateful today. Maybe for you, just the possibility of gratitude today. And whatever it is that arises for you when gratitude is called forth, I invite you to see it clearly in your mind's eye and to anchor it there in your heart space. And then if you'd like, I invite you to set an intention for your practice today, perhaps a simple intention to just be right there with each inhale, or to just keep your gratitude anchored. And whatever your intention is, I invite you to state it. Hear yourself in your mind's ear as you state your intention in a clear and declarative voice as if it is already done. And then as the echoes of your intention reverberate in your being, I invite you to take a full inhale. And as you exhale, if you choose to, I invite you to allow your chin to drop toward your grateful and intentional heart and offer a benediction to seal your intention as I say, Namo, Namaste, which means I bow to the totality and I bow to the light that exists within each of us. And then drop your hands to your knees and lift your chin. And then we're just going to simply begin to rotate our torso here. So begin to inhale as you come forward, rotating either direction, doesn't matter. We're going to go both ways. Inhale as you come forward, exhale as you go back, and see if you can rotate from the diaphragm, from the navel area. So a lot of us want to lead with our shoulders in our head, and maybe we can just work this from, so it's a little bit of a, I don't know. I like to think of it as a belly dance or a hula hoop move, but I don't really know about either of those things since I was never any good at either of those things. But anyway, moving from the diaphragm, your pace, your rhythm, find your breath and move with your breath. Your pace will be different than everyone else's because you are you. So breathing in, you come forward, breathing out, you go back. And then go in the opposite direction. Just switch and reverse your rotation here. So feeling the spine rotating against the fixed hip girdle. A little bit of what one of my teachers used to call butter churn asana. I think she made that up, but it is an interesting image. It's called stomach grind or Sufi grind. It's just a rotational of their spine here, breathing and getting present with ourselves. Maybe a little wider, maybe a little narrower, just feeling into this. One more here. Inhale to center. Gently retain this breath. Lift at the base of the spine, at the pelvic bowl, at the heart. Relax the shoulders, tuck the chin. Let everything come center. Be still. And exhale. A full inhale. A complete exhale. Inhale here. And as you exhale, come around to your mat in tabletop, and we'll begin. Move a little, get a little core movement engaged. So we're going to bring the knees underneath the hips. We're going to bring the hands underneath the shoulders, maybe slightly in front of, create a little space. The crown will be long, the hips will be long, the side body will be long. Okay. And as we inhale, we'll arch the lower spine, we'll drop the belly, we'll let the heart come forward and the crown come high, the hips will go high. So a little flexion here. And then as you exhale, you'll bring the chin toward the chest, roll the hips under and arc, round the spine, big press through the fingers and hands, out through the knees and hips. And then move with your pace, continue to do that. Inhale, arch and lift. Exhale, round and release, find your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Inhale, drop the belly, arch. Exhale, drop the chin, rounds. Spinal flex here, moving the spine. Begin to move a little faster maybe now if you're feeling a little loose. Maybe not. Maybe just stay with what you got. It's your practice. Feel into this moving of the spine. Couple more here. Inhale to neutral. And exhale. Take a breath here, full inhalation. Complete exhale. We're going to do that same arching and rounding, but we're going to add the leg in. So roll over the ball of the right foot, press back through the right heel, and then lift the right heel level with the hips. Point the toes on the right foot, lengthen through the crown, maybe lift the right leg a little higher, maybe not. This is your inhale here, inhale. And then as you exhale, hold on, excuse me. As you exhale, you're going to bring the knee toward the nose under the belly, rounding the spine. Inhale, press back, arch and lift. Exhale, knee to nose, round. And again, continue at your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Moving with breath, aligning the movement with the breath. Inhale starts, the movement starts. Exhale finishes, the movement finishes. Engaging through the core, warming the body, energizing the full being, feeling the balance, keeping the hips level. Inhale, lift. Hold here for a moment, press through the foot, lengthen through the crown, press out of the arms, breathe here, full inhale. Complete exhale. Inhale here. Exhale here. A full inhalation. As you exhale, bring that knee back underneath the hip. And we'll move to the left side. Roll over the ball of the left foot, press back through the left heel, lift the left heel, and point the toes on the left foot. Lengthen through the crown. Inhale here. Exhale, knee to nose. And again, find your rhythm. Find your breath. So if you tighten a little bit at the back of the throat, at the glottis, you will find that your breath will become audible in your nostrils. And then that helps to align your movement with your breath. The rhythm of the movement, the rhythm of the breath. Arching and rounding the spine. Engaging the core. Heating the body. Inhale here. Keep the leg extended and lengthen through the crown. Breathe. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. A full inhalation. As you exhale, bring that knee underneath the hip. Press the hips back toward the heels. Come seated on your heels. Now, if you need support here, you can roll your mat and place it underneath the top of your feet. If you're not used to sitting on your heels, you can take your cushion or your block and place it between your back of your thighs and the back of your calves, providing a little support. We're just going to be here for literally a minute. When you're seated on your heels, and then lengthen through the spine and give yourself a big hug. Now take your knees a little wider for balance, and we're simply going to inhale over to the left, exhale over to the right. Inhale left, exhale right. Again, moving with your breath, finding your rhythm. Your pace. Based on your breath in your practice. Little side bend here, opening up the side body. Inhale to center. Gently retain this breath. Lift at the base of the spine, at the pelvic bowl, at the heart. Relax the shoulders, tuck the chin, let everything come to the center of your being. Be very still. And exhale, release, come off of your heels and come back to your seated posture. Sitting in easy pose, Sukhasana or Siddhasana. Establishing yourself back in your seat. Take a full inhale. A complete exhale. Full inhalation. Complete exhale. Inhale here, get settled in. Take your hands to your shins. And we're simply going to do that tilting of the pelvic bowl. The heart will come forward on the inhale. So that lower spine, again, will be slight movement forward, a very, very small movement probably, but whatever is available to you. And then as you exhale, we're rounding, dropping the chin toward the chest. So it's a seated spinal flexion here. Inhaling forward and up, exhaling, rounding back. Again, finding your rhythm and your pace, moving with your breath in your practice. Continue to do this movement. However, bring your hands out to your knees, and you may feel that as you do that, you open up a little bit of the middle back, and maybe you can feel this movement up into the middle back. Maybe not. Just stay with your practice. All of this practice designed to free up the spine. There's a yogis tell us that we are only as old as our spine, and that by doing these practices, we can keep our spines young. Inhale up. Gently retain this breath while lifting at the pelvic bowl, at the base of the spine, at the navel, bringing everything to the heart center, relaxing the shoulders, tucking the chin, being very still here, noticing your experience. And exhale, release. Palms up, thumb and forefinger together. Take a full inhale. Let everything settle. Notice what shifted for you in these few simple movements. We do this work to regulate our mind states, to learn resilience, to be able to take effective action, to change our thoughts and our behaviors. Breathing here, full inhale. Complete exhale. All right, we're going to take the arms out from the shoulders, fold at the elbow, bring the 4 long fingers in front of the shoulder while hooking the thumb behind. This will lock the torso in place, lengthen through the spine. And then as we inhale, we're just simply going to twist to the left. And as we exhale, we're simply going to twist to the right. And again, we're going to move with our breath, individualized, finding your rhythm, and being in your practice, in your space. Inhaling left, exhaling right. Okay. Not overdoing anything, just a simple rotation. You feel that little opening in the back, maybe this feels nice after all that flexion. Gentle movements, just left and right, and with the breath. Inhale to center. Again, gently lift at the base while relaxing at the shoulders, tucking the chin, letting everything come to the center, being very still. And exhale, release. Palms on the knees, full inhale. Complete exhale. A full inhalation. A complete exhale. Inhale here. And as you exhale here, I'd like you to come standing, please. Now, Sunday, I left this very important movement out. We don't want to do that. So we're going to do a movement called clearing the aura or painting the aura. So I'll turn this way so you can see this better. Feet just slightly wider than the hips for balance and stability. The inhale is going to be through the nose. We'll take the arms up, and maybe there's a little back bend, maybe not. Don't overdo anything here. We're just going to reach up as we inhale through the nostrils. And then on the exhale, keeping the knees slightly bent for stability. On the exhale, we're going to hinge and fold, releasing the arms down and back. Now we're going to breathe out through the mouth. So we'll round the mouth to make that canted breath exhale. And then we'll inhale through the nose, coming up. And exhale through the mouth as we fold and release. Whew. So move with your rhythm, your pace, your breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale out the mouth. Maybe a lion's breath. You feel it like you want to let it go. Maybe not. Cannon breath. Your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Again, not overdoing anything. Finding your rhythm. Stay with it. Inhale up. Exhale. Hinge and fold forward, forward fold. Turn your toes in a little bit. Maybe bring your feet in a little bit. Release your head. Release your shoulders. Release your arms. Allow everything to be here in this forward fold. Take a full inhale. And a complete exhale. Relax the neck. Inhale here. Exhale here. As you inhale, slowly roll up. Exhale, release. Take a breath. Sigh it out. And then come back to your seated posture. All right. Now, find a comfortable and supported seat for our meditation. And as I mentioned at the top, our meditation is going to be a seated meditation with mantra. Now, if you're not used to working with mantra, feel free to just listen or hum along. Maybe as you listen and feel into it, maybe you want to begin giving it a try. Mantra is focusing of the mind through the expression of sound. So we're going to vibrate a sound. So the mantra that we're going to use is called Long Ek Onkar. And I will translate and define how we're going to do it. So Ek is one, Om is creative consciousness, and Kar is creation or the creator. So there is one creation, one creative consciousness. The creation and the creative consciousness are one. That's that piece. Now that's going to be one breath. The entire mantra is 2.5 breaths. So one breath, we will do the saying of Ek, Om, Kar. The Ek is at the base of the spine. The Ong and the Kar is in the back of the throat or the back of the head. You'll feel that vibration. If you can feel into the vibration, it really is a sweet experience. And if not, don't worry about it. It's just yoga, okay? So that's a full breath. So it'll go like this. We'll inhale. Ek, Om, Ka. One breath. Then we'll take our next breath. We'll take a full inhale. And our next breath is going to be Sat Nam. Sat means truth. Nam means name or identity. And so this is at the heart and the throat. Sat at the heart, Na at the throat. So identifying this truth, there is one creator and creation. Creator and creation are one. Identifying this truth. And then at the end of that breath, we're just going to say Siri, which means amazing. So identifying that truth is amazing. There is one creator, one creation. The creator and creation are one. Identifying that truth is amazing. And then we'll take a little half breath. And the chant is Wahe Guru, which means great teaching. This is a great teaching. So this amazing, great teaching that there is one creator and creation, creator and the creation are one. Identifying with that truth is an amazing, great teaching, an amazing, great enlightenment. So that's what we're saying. If you're, again, not familiar with mantra or not comfortable with it, just sit in meditation and be silent. Now we're going to have the chant will be, I'll play the chant here so you can hear it and we can just follow along with that. And so we'll just do this for a couple minutes and then we'll come into silence and we'll do our guided rest. So find your supported posture, maybe make your cross, change your cross, settle into your feet, find yourself here. Set yourself up for your meditative stage, hands to the knees, thumb and forefinger lightly touching, back of the palms on the knees, palms up so you can be in a receptive mode, receive this blessing. Okay, and let's take a cleansing breath to prepare. Full inhale. Complete exhale. Inhale and begin. Inhale. Suck. No. Sit. Hat. Up. Suck. No. Sit. Up. Suck. Sit. Up. Suck. Sit. Up. Suck. Last one. Be very still. Let everything settle. Release any shaping of the breath, of the body, of the mind. Allow yourself to rest. Be done. You're done. Allow yourself to rest here. Let the breath come and go as it will. Let the mind come and go as it will. Detach and be still. Notice your experience. Feel what you're feeling. Maybe a little vibration, maybe not. Be present with yourself. This is our rest. Vital part of the practice. We tend to short shrift this rest piece. This is part of the practice. It is the place where we integrate, where we allow the effort that we made during the practice, the dynamic movements, the total focus. We allow that to now integrate by being still, feeling ourselves supported, being held, excuse me, being held in our space. Gravity and our sense of gratitude and our intention holding us still and allowing ourselves to rest, to feel what we feel without attachment or aversion, to just notice our own experience. And we'll settle into this place of rest for the next couple of minutes, exploring the awesome power of silence. If perchance you notice that your mind has wandered away, I invite you to bring gratitude to that noticing, and then gently and compassionately return your focus to your breath. On your next inhale, I invite you to take a full inhale. As you exhale, if you choose, allow your chin to drop gently toward your chest. When you are ready, and only when you are ready, slowly let your eyelids flutter open. Bring yourself back to yourself, and then to the class as a whole. On your next inhale, I invite you to allow your hands once again to float to your heart space in a way that brings awareness to your heart space, and allow to arise in your heart space perhaps one more thing for which you are grateful here this morning. See it clearly in your mind's eye, and as you sit in this place of awareness of gratitude in your space, I'll take this opportunity to extend my sense of gratitude to you from this space. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your practice. I'm honored to be here, truly. And as always, I invite and encourage you to stay here in grateful rest for as long as you like. And when you do rise, please take the echoes of your practice and your gratitude with you as you go through the remainder of your day, lifting yourself and all that you come into contact with. Have an amazing day. Mm.